Hello, everybody. My name is Puppeteen. Yes, this is a familiar sight because we were just live a second ago, but we are live again for what? For Halo, episode 3 of a controversial series. Mostly controversial because a lot of people do not seem to care for it. And we have somebody here that really does love it, and that is Froggy. But in this episode, I don't know how much to say except we're going to spoil the hell out of it in explaining what happens. And I feel like this will be pretty essential for the entire series. It introduces one of the leading factors in the games, I believe, right?
This also, this also puts the rest of the people saying they didn't like Cortana, the way she looked. Because if they would have waited to this episode, they realized she's not going to look like a human. The biggest complaint I always heard about people is like Cortana. She's a bald, skin and human looking lady. No, they solved that. If you would have waited this episode, they change her with her hologram form. And I gotta say, this episode is graphic and not for children. I got needle in the sky vibes, man.
Well, that's because there are needles in the eye. Yes, the clone that we've been introduced to since the first episode does perish because they need her brain. It's a copy of Dr. Hartley's brain.
But not to be exact, it was a copy of her brain, but not exact. They improved it. Greatly improved the brain. Bioengineered and everything. And basically, in order to because they wanted to create a hologram and stuff, the AI, they took the clone body of Dr. Halsey, and basically had her sit on a table, and they've also put Master Chief on a table too. But actually, he's like, "Do you really have to do this?" No, he's like, "Yes." So they put the clone Cortana, which is not called Cortana yet, but she lays there and she's like, I'm gonna give you an injection, but you have to be awake for this process. And this is where it gets gross. She gets a needle jabbed in her eye, and then she dies there on the table. So, but they're able to download her brain, whatever her conscious, whatever, into an AI form. And then they dispose of her body in this like liquid goo, yellow liquid goo, and dissolves it.
Yeah, because they have no use for it.
So then, after this, they basically John, who's on the table. If you have those who've seen Universal Soldier, where they have the drill goes in the back of the head. That's how they recharge. It could be so cool. Yeah, John gets drilled in the back of the head with the drill bit.
Just
both these are gross. And he gets a little chip put inside him. But before so this happens and so basically John's not pleased by this because now he has basically a leash on him. He has Cortana. And he doesn't want assistance, everything. He's embarrassed by her and stuff, especially when he goes to talk to his Spartan friends. He's angry. So basically Cortana was meant to be spy on John, so that Halsey could basically keep a monitor on him. So he wouldn't go off. So John realizes that these flashbacks, whenever he touches the artifact, he's getting these are supposed to be memories or something. So he decides he's going to go into his spine, take out his hormonal injector, which basically dampens his emotions. And Cortana's like, "You can't do this." And then Dr. Halsey's like, "Let him do it." She's basically giving him more leash. So John, he's naked in there, and this is where you get the gratuity naked. I don't need to see a guy naked, but.
Well, at least it's just from behind. This isn't Euphoria. Anyway, if I may interject, yes, it's actually fun to watch as this is happening because while obviously the Corp is the bad guy, Cortana, designed to take over, John. Is now acting as a spy, and she's not very happy about this. But she listens to Dr. Halsey, of course, and does as she commands.
Cortana was designed to basically monitor and control him and stuff, and she has a higher functional purpose, but Halsey's limited her and basically says, no, you're not. The one thing you're not allowed to do, you're not allowed to harm John. Let John do what he wants to do. Don't worry about it. Because so I got a feeling that Cortana is you can tell that she's developing feelings, emotions herself, which may lead to her actually overriding rules.
Yeah, that might be. So if
I was just gonna point out that falls in line with the game where Master Chief and Cortana knows that Chief's gonna go against the wishes of the Federation, what do you call them?
Mm-hmm.
And she basically warns about this, but then she's like, you know what? You're the boss, and she goes with them. And she doesn't try to control John. She cares about Dick. In the series, she deeply cares about John. You can almost say that she falls in love with him.
But right now, she is wondering why she's not allowed to take control.
Oh yeah. She's very, very irritated because he's like, that's my directive. You created me. It's like she's like, no, hold on, let him do stuff. I gotta say though, when he's in there in the hall, in the bathroom scene, he's got the knife. He's gonna cut it out, and then Cortana's like, you know what? I can help you with that. And I love it. It's like for those who have the Google phone, or have ever heard Cortana speak on the phone, it's like having Siri tell you, "Hey, you need help? I can help you with searches." Is even about he's trying to touch the artifact again after he's got his emotions back. He realizes it's actually a planet. He's been there before. It's a memory. The guy calls him John, everything, and he's forced to bury this dog. He recognizes the house, his mother. So then he goes to search for it, and he's doing it. He's in a little thing trying to search it. He's like, frustrated. And they say, Cortana's like, you know, John, I can help you with that. No, just tell me what you're looking for, Curie. He's like,
And after he's touched the artifact, he realizes more that he saw, and he's like, how many planets have ice rings that are visible from the planet's surface? And she says 3.
Yeah. So it's like cool. It's like having Cortana Google Assistant. Whenever she speaks and does the Curie search, I found multiple passages. Would you want me to show you ones I found? It's so that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. But this mission, they at the end of this, he learns that one of the planets had a program where humans were sent to basically make a life out of it. Take this planet so that way it could support human life.
Yeah, that was the original the project. What it's called, but there was the project that supposedly his parents were involved, and for multiple planets, barren planets, to try and restart the life on them by creating these little domes and stuff. Which we've also seen this kind of process done in for those who watch or are fans of the other awesome space show that's ended, The Expanse. They were doing that on Mars. They were trying to restart Mars's ecosystem by putting little bubbles of plants and stuff in there, just slowly growing it. So so it's great to see that he's actually learning more stuff. He's gonna go more rogue. And here, meanwhile, we got the other general who's on there. I don't trust her whatsoever. She doesn't trust. She doesn't like Halsey because Halsey does what she wants. She doesn't follow orders. I trust Halsey more than I trust anybody. Now that being said, that's because she was more trustworthy in the game. I don't know what's if there's gonna be a difference. She's gonna have a different end game where she's gonna go like crazy mad power. Because they already talked about, because he learned that John learned that there was actually another artifact. All the drawings he saw him draw, the memories from flashbacks, him drawing stuff, turned out to be an artifact. So he figures there's an artifact on that planet where he was staying with his parents. And he learned, he wanted to know, to ask Cortana, what happened to him? What happened to his parents? He's like, well, there was a plague broke out. Somebody brought something in, and they kept everybody in there. Only survivors were brought out. No, he's like, crap. So he's got all these emotions. He's getting angry. He's getting sad.
Yeah. There is a moment in the show where he's walking around and he's hearing and smelling and all these things, and he has new experience. It's like opening your eyes for the first time, like what his friend said.
Yeah. So now there's another plot that's going on too. The other girl, the girl that he saved in the very beginning, the first episode, Quan, she wants to go back to her home planets because The guy who's
We're on the
basically
planet Madrigal.
Madrigal. Yeah, it was taken over by a corrupt leader, and she knows that she wants to go fight because she knows that her father's faction is still there, and she wants to save her planet. The only problem is that now we find a backstory to the human girl that's been living with what do they call it? I want to call them the Christians. What do they call it? The Covenant. That's what they are. The Covenant. She's
the croissants.
I know croissants. I hate croissants. That's your evil. Anyway, yeah, she takes over this. This is about the best part too of I've seen this episode too. Another great part. She shows up out of nowhere in the alien Covenant ship. She's like, help, I need help. And they're like, sure, we'll send a life pod over it first, rescue her. And they bring over, he's like, oh, she's like, thank you. Like, and they check her out, and then she's cleaning everything. But then she gets up, he's like, here, welcome, Blair. And she's like, and then she just slaughters everybody. These worms come out, just kill everybody on the Federation ship,
I believe her name is Mackie.
Mackie?
Mackie. Yeah.
Mackie. Anyway, her name's irrelevant because she's basically the goddess of death. Everyone gets slaughtered. And then the captain's like, they mix up the brigging, these are the nasty worms. Anybody remember there's a worms that if you ever watched the 100? These are like bigger and nasty earthworms, like just going sneaking around and just taking people, choking them. People are slaughtered. And she is, and then she's upset because the captain says, if you're not gonna find where Chief is, you're not gonna find our home base. We don't have that. We purposely don't keep that in our system. And she's pissed off because now she's like, oh crap. So now she has to go back, but then she realizes, wait. She's like, I'm not gonna go back to the Covenant home world. I need to go to Madrigal, whatever, where Quan wants to go, because that's where the first artifact was found. So she wants to retrace the steps to figure out where Chief went to. So and you find what's really cool about her backstory. She was on some backwards like slave colony planet, whatever, as a kid, and she's a little girl, and then her friend was a little boy, and he was reading a book to her, and she still carries the book today, and he's like, when you're gonna get the words, it says kisses, like he's like, when you read the word kiss, you gotta kiss someone. So they go to lean in to kiss, and then they're caught by these guards because they're supposed to be like working and mining, whatever, stripping the junk pile. They get chased, and that's when the Covenant shows up and just kills everybody. And then she's, her friend with her boy, who I guess would have been her lover, I guess, even though they're like 6 or 7 or time, 8 or 9. He's beaten to death by the baton by one of the guards, and then the guard takes this and starts beating her. The Covenant just stomps on his head, kills him, and then they basically they recognize he's got a little glowing wand. They're looking for the artifact. Is what they're looking for. And then it gets closer, and they're like, it's behind the girl. And we're like, wait, it is the girl. It is the girl. And her knowing only but hatred from humans goes with this alien, because the story was about other worlds, other planets stuff, and alien stuff. So it's just like the book. So she went with the aliens willingly.
Yeah. Yep. And so we get 3 points from this moment on. This woman, Mackie, whatever, goddess of death, we'll call her. She is continuing her mission from there, and we have John, who's traveling with Halsey, Cortana, and Halsey's creepy assistant, to his former planet, and finally Quan with, John's friend. What's his name? For some reason, I'm thinking Seagrams.
That's Dave Chappelle's stunt double?
Yes, it's Dave Chappelle's brother. Absolutely.
Hold on, let me look it up.
This is amazing, folks.
He
is not like Cortana, though.
He is Joaquin Woodbine.
That's not.
That's the actor's name, but his name is Soren. 066.
Soren, not Seagram's. That's alcohol.
That's yeah.
And he basically told Quan, all right, if you're saying that you're going to be worth something once I deliver you, okay, I'll hold you to that. And if not, then I can collect the money off of your bounty. How about that?
So I got to point out, though, when you look at the photos, and I should have brought a photo with us for this, we could have planned it better, but, we're still getting in that building up stage. But Cortana, when they show her in avatar form, she looks very like video game-ish.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
It's all right. I mean, it could have been just a person in a blue costume. That looked weird.
I just think it could have been done a little better.
And,
I mean, in the video game, I think she looks better than she does in the show.
Well, they kind of desexualized her for the show.
No, I don't mean that. I mean her quality.
But
they try to make her look like CGI.
Well, they try to make her look like Natasha McElhone, but then who plays Dr. Halsey, but then Jen Taylor, who reprises her role as Cortana, speaking for her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least they got the voice actor back, because what's really frustrating is they didn't get the voice actor for Chief. I'm just still saying, they never should have had Chief with his mask off. That's the big thing. I think a lot of people would love the show more if they never showed Master Chief's face.
Maybe.
Everyone else can see it. Everyone else can see him, but we can't see him.
Listen, I'm not a big fan of this show. I'm not a big fan of the Halo games. I've never played them. I don't really care. I'm just talking about the show, and from my standpoint, it's all right. It's okay. I don't hate it, but I'm not loving it either. There's some interesting things going on.
Like I said, I love this episode. I think it's picking up, especially with Chief back in his armor. Whenever Chief's in, the thing is that what really makes the show great is having Master Chief in his armor. Can you imagine it? With the downfall of the show is that they take him out of his armor, and it's basically like having the Mandarin never in his armor and just like talking to people. Hey, what's going on?
You mean the Mandalorian?
Yeah, the Mandalorian. Yeah.
Not the Mandarin. That's a different kind of thing altogether.
Yeah, they're both equally boring.
No. But, yes, this is... If Quan had stayed on, this absolutely would have been the Halo Lorian. But it's going somewhere, and we'll have to wait and see. We want to hear your thoughts, though. Make sure to comment below on your thoughts of this show, this episode, anything.
I also want to point out that Pablo Schreiber, who is the brother of Liev Schreiber, many people know him from other shows. He's a big popular actor. This guy is only 43 years old and he's 6'5". That's why they got him. Liev Schreiber. Yeah, he's from Ray Donovan and Wolverines. He plays Sabretooth. That's this guy's brother.
Huh.
Yeah. So, yeah, Pablo Schreiber in here, or Schreiber. He's
Schreiber.
Yeah, 6'5". So it's great when they get somebody, an actor who actually is tall, because that's what how tall Master Chief would be when he walked towers over everybody. And it could be worse, but got somebody as tall as Tom Cruise towering over people who are like 5'2".
Yeah, I understand that feeling.
But I gotta say this show is actually doing pretty well for me. And with that being said, I hope you guys, if you did like this, please leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Kind of helps out the algorithm. And if you feel like helping out the channel, because every dollar helps going towards our subscriptions to Marvel and DC Comics, because we do read comments on here, leave $1 in the Ko-Fi link that's scrolling on the ticker right here, and is also should be in the description as well.
It is.
That being said, hope you had fun. Hello to Trusty, and goodbye to Trusty, and we'll see you guys next week for
Bye!
Halo.
You did not need to sing that. All right.